EA Sports, and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Beautiful day here at the TPC Boston in Norton, Massachusetts. This is the site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo.
And a fun golf course in front of us today, too. Really carved out of this wonderful New England landscape. 92 bunkers adorn the golf course, and, well, we are in New England, so you'd expect a little bit of weather. We might get a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of wind, but golf course built and certainly plays well in any condition.
Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. Frank, here at the 7th, there's a choice to be made.
Yeah, you can see the distinct reward for a good iron shot. If you get that ball on that right tier, then it's certainly a relatively flat birdie chance up ahead.
Get down, look out.
It's over. The green.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
That birdie gets the player to red figures, 1 under for the tournament. Coming off the long par 5 7th, now a par 3, 213 yards. What's the 8th hole all about?
Another hole that picks with the same theme. Really want to fly this nice and high. That narrow part at the front of the green really is to be avoided unless the flag is there.
It should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Stuffed it in there really close, and now just a tap in. So coming off the birdie on the previous hole, a chance now for yet another one.
And momentum all in his favor.
Has it now sitting at 2 under par for the tournament. Real golfers, by the way, do not eat tuna sandwiches at the turn. They eat a hot dog, right?
Well, yeah, but if you make a mess of 9, then you're making hamburgers.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, golf so often is a game of avoiding something. What do you want to stay away from here at the 9th?
You have to avoid that little pot bunker just short of this green. If the pin's at the back, it's fine. You can fly the ball into the middle of the green. But if the pin's on the front, just make sure you carry that little bunker.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie.
This is that awkward length.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Good contact, good result. In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back 9. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frank, how much does that birdie help the cause?
Well, it doesn't look like much right now, Rich, just sneaking inside the top 20. But at the end of the day, that might be the one that turned the tide.
Frank, like all TPC golf courses, TPC Boston has the fan in mind. So you see those mounds throughout the golf course that gives people a chance to just sit, relax, and watch some golf. And there's a nice shady spot on the hill behind the 11th.
Yeah, that's just before the 12th tee, and you really do get a look at the tee shots coming in 11, as well as little undulations and contours on that massive green.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. That was not a very good read right there. Just a couple of feet. Now at -2 for the day. Now at the 461-yard par 4 12th, how do you play it, Frank?
Well, hit two of your best here. Somehow find the fairway, and then you take anything on the green here. You see a lot of sixes here over the years.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This one's looking good. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Well done, and 3 under for the day. So, one round in the books and a lot to chew on here.
There is. This is going to be a tough championship to pull away. The standard of golf, especially that first page of the leaderboard. Excellent golf.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson, they all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
Thinking man's game, golf.
It certainly is.
And to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole, this for birdie. This hole's been good to him. Birdie yesterday, and trying for another one today. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Good swing, good shot yet again. Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Sneaking into contention here with that birdie.
Top 15 now on the leaderboard. Hole number 9, Frank, 472 yards. Good par 4.
Yeah, if you blink, it'll catch you.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Headed in the right direction with that birdie.
Just sneaks into the top 10. It's a good move this week.
Just a superb performance on the front side. He's hoping to keep it going here on the back 9, Frank.
The game is so much easier when you're swinging well, putts are going in. Really, you just got to keep out of your own way.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, you tip your Hogan visor to this player because early on it appeared as though this one was headed way off the tracks.
Well, it was. And to stop the round and turn it back and now look like he's playing even better than ever. It took some doing.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Beautifully done. That's a birdie. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Hello again and welcome. I'm Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. It is a gorgeous fall day here in Massachusetts, TPC Boston, site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Frank, a really good golf course and highly respected by the best players in the world.
It certainly is. Gives them an opportunity to score. Gil Hanse, Brad Faxon, they made some really good changes over the years, giving it that New England look, that old bunker style. And, of course, they've had a PGA Tour event here all the way back to 2003.
Good-looking shot right here. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Another one inside of 5 feet. This one just requires a little bit of focus. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Frank, here at the 16th, you really see this sort of New England character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of two-tiered green, and it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hans and Faxon have done to the golf course.
Here we go. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. And with that birdie, moving into the top 5 on the leaderboard.
And we're starting to notice the name.
Just 2 holes left to play here at TPC Boston. Frank, we're on to the 17th, and what can you tell me about this 412-yard par 4?
It looks like a dogleg left, but you don't play it that way. Hit it straight down towards that bunker on the right side. Then the second shot's downhill.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
He has this for birdie. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament. Frank, the par 5 18th here at TPC Boston. This is a chance to be a hero.
Oh, there is. The mere mortals play it down the left side. Everything slopes from left to right. But that bunker with a puff of breeze behind, if you can carry that, you are one of the longest hitters around.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, that's the biggest roar I've heard all week long. That was an eagle roar.
For good reason. Not just an eagle, too. All of a sudden, back in contention.
Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Boston Championship. All right, Frank, we're teed up at the 15th, and a lot to talk about with your caddy on this tee shot.
Yeah, which club, which line, series of bunkers down the left, that one short right doesn't really come into play. Another one, really, fairway first. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good. Oh, that's fine.
Frank, just a beautiful day out there today, but there are some challenges.
Those tricky winds up there, you've really got to focus on exactly how strong it is and what direction, because it's very easy to make the mistake of hitting the wrong club out here. You make a mistake with the wrong club choice, even a good swing is not going to get rewarded.
This is a good-looking shot. And so with that eagle, right in the thick of it. Frank, I don't think they've come up yet with an EA Sports bass fishing challenge, and this wouldn't be the time to do it, would it? 16th hole.
We might see a few people fishing for their golf ball, though. Big mound in the middle of this green. You don't have to go directly at the flag when it's on the left. You can use that mound to kick the ball around.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. With that birdie, moves one shot closer to the lead. Frank, the 17th here at TPC Boston underwent quite a radical change.
Yeah, that renovation and that redesign that they did, it changed the character of the hole, but they still kept that big mound in the middle of the green. So that second shot is still punishing if you misjudge it.
And players nursing the lead, they might want to think about playing it safe down the right side, but if you're trying to make up some ground, you could try to fly the church pews that divide the fairway into two sections, and that would give you a nice short wedge in.
Yeah, give you a short wedge in, but really the risk, is it worth it?
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Well, birdies are hard to come by in this situation. So tight.
Keeps him right in the thick of it. Well, Frank, this is really one of the most exciting finishing holes on tour. The 18th here at TPC Boston, par 5, risk-reward, chance to really make something happen right at the end. He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. And now the second shot here at this par 5. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck? Oh, and just busts out an eagle when things were as tight as can
be. Just a great putt and a great win. Welcome to the home of the Wells Fargo Championship, where the likes of Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and long-hitting J.B. Holmes have all won. It was first opened for play in 1961. It has really grown through the years, and it is now played by the best in the world. Rich Schroeder alongside Frank Novello for EA Sports. Let's jump down to the golf course. Frank, they say you have to ride the wind. Boy, he got all of that one.
Got every ounce out of the conditions.
Frank, what's the right play here on the 10th?
Favor the left side. Everything will slope towards the right. Just be careful of that grass bunker, sort of front right. The ball will sort of come a long way down to the front edge of the green. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
So trying to get the back nine off to a good start. The approach shot is on the green, but he still has work to do. This is about a 30-footer coming up. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. And getting ready for the putt. A birdie will send him to 1 under on the leaderboard. Here we are now at the 11th. Been a steady performance so far early in this first round, but at some point, Frank, they need to take steady to spectacular.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Rich, and really sooner rather than later, that's for sure. But, yeah, steady becomes boring if it stays on for too long.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cup.
It is a windy day out here, Frank. My hat just blew off. This is going to affect the players' shots, that's for sure. Early part of this second iron, a good approach shot, and now pretty good chance for birdie.
This is that awkward length.
He'll be a bit disappointed he didn't make that. Just 5 feet left. Frank, you can see by the reaction, it has been that kind of week. Just a few too many pars. Here we are now at the 12th, and Frank, this is a beautiful but dangerous hole, par 4.
It is in a number of ways. The hole bends gently to the right, which you'd think would favor a nice little fade, but the fairway just seems to shrink up. I've seen this fairway missed by so many good players. And plus it's yardage, 450 odd. You can't really lay back too far, otherwise you've got too long for your second shot.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. You get the sense now with that birdie that our young star, so explosive, is setting himself up for a big weekend run. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Good chance at one. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
It's a big putt right here for birdie. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Wow, Frank, this is a really good little par 4, isn't it, the 14th?
It is, and this is where one of those strong three-woods comes in. The last 50 or 60 yards is the ball kicks down and towards the left, and it sounds like an aggressive play, but like a hard three-wood trying to run it down there is actually not a bad play.
Is it drivable?
It is drivable, but it's whether it's worth the risk.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, we remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010. His first PGA Tour victory, a 62 in the final round. It was Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Settles in over the putt.
And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those two bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill.
Frank, it's kind of cool if your golf course has a menacing name for the finishing stretch. There's the Bear Trap at PGA National, the Gauntlet at TPC Sawgrass, and here at Quail Hollow, the Green Mile. Does it earn the nickname?
Rich, I don't know about the name, but I think if you want to look at 3 holes in a row that are really going to get your attention, perhaps wreck your card, then 16, 17, and 18 at Quail Hollow are the ones. 16 a par 4 over 500 yards, 17 is just fraught with disaster. And then 18 requires you hit your best tee shot. I think even if those holes were in 3 different parts of the golf course, they'd get your attention.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Now putt for par.
Just a little tap in here. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. There you have it, Frank. The first round is a wrap. We saw some good golf out there.
It was certainly a fun round to watch. There's a lot of great players in this field, and this is such an exciting venue. I just can't wait to see what happens the rest of the championship.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. What really sets Quail Hollow apart here at the Wells Fargo Championship, the brutal finishing stretch. They call it the Green Mile, and we are excited to bring you all of the tournament action. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello.
Should be safely on deck.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. And with the birdie, moves into the top 10 on the leaderboard.
And moves into some very good company.
Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5 7th.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible.
This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Just dominated this hole and ends up with an eagle. Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8 here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green. That's an absolute beauty.
Just a short shot into this par 4-8.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Well, good birdie right there, Frank.
Oh, time to get another cup of coffee. Things are heating up.
Well, Frank, what do you think of the 9th hole here at Quail Hollow?
Oh, I think it's a beauty, Rich. One of those long, nice drawing tee shots. 500 yards is a par 4. You have to hit a good drive down there. The fairway doesn't camber that much. The hole does dogleg to the left. Big advantage for a big tee shot here.
Good contact, good result.
I mean, he just blasted it down the fairway, well over 325 yards. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Good effort and good par putt. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Boy, this one has a chance to be really good.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Looks like he's going to have a go at it here at the par 5, his second shot. too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Third shot, looking for a good one.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie.
So that is a top 10 performance through 2 rounds, Frank.
It's always nice to know that you have a shot with 2 rounds left in the tournament.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is a great state of North Carolina where Donna Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing. But this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the group.
That birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point.
Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5-7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
That is massive off the tee.
Meters, yards, I don't care how you measure that. That's got to be what? 300 meters, 325 yards, something like that.
Frankie could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
I like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy.
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But a down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
And you love it, Frank. Most guys at this point with the pressure really ratchet it up. Are happy to walk away with a par. That's an eagle right there. Out of the short par 4-8 here at Quail Hollow, just 350 yards. Frank, players can lay it up and just hit a little baby wedge into the green, but why not go for it in one, try to make something happen?
I think both plans work well, Rich. This is one of those holes, the more you think about it, the more complicated it gets. You're going to lay it up, lay it up. If you're going to go for it, just aim at that tree and hit it down there. Just take your medicine.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time. It's a good spot right there.
Sync up.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Frank, how impressive is this performance so far?
You've got to tip your hat. Really just played good from the first hole on. Rhythm is good. Hit a lot of good shots. Very smart decision making as well.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity.
Frank, we have said it over and over. Another birdie. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
He really likes this hole. Made birdie yesterday. Can he do it again today? Ooh, so close. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Thanks for joining us here today in Charlotte, North Carolina for the final round of the Wells Fargo Championship. Frank, what do we have out here today?
Well, if history has a chance of repeating itself, remember those great closing rounds by Rory McIlroy? That 62, that was one of the best rounds ever shot that year, back in 2010. And, of course, that playoff, too, Ricky Fowler back in 2012. We actually beat out then world number one Rory McIlroy with that stunning drive down the finishing hole and brilliant wedge to a tight flag. This golf course, it can give it, it can take it away. But for us, from where we're sitting, Rich, we'll enjoy the view today.
No doubt about it. Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. The hole's not over.
Frank, the beauty of golf, we're not playing inside a dome with no wind. You have to be able to handle the elements.
You do, and that's really where the better player comes through. On a day like today, anything around par is going to be a good score, so just adjust your own mental par.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. In the hole for birdie.
Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose. But be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
It's fine.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Early part of this second iron, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
Continues to putt beautifully. Par 4 12 here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently, it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know you line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
Well, talk about taking the head cover off and let it fly. That's beyond long.
Goodness, did he get all of that? Wow. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par.
Let's putt for birdie. And he has it for birdie. Here we are at the par 3, 13th hole. It's 210 yards. What does it take here, Frank?
It's one actually where you'd rather be conservative than aggressive here. And the reason why is this green tends to roll off at the back and the front and the middle there. So it's just something that pitches more in the central part of the green is really what's required.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man.
Second shot.
He's made it. Now the par 3, 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of the screen. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Well, they claim it's a reachable par 4. We haven't seen a whole lot of people do it today. We just saw it right there. Well done. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Appears to be tracking well. And it makes the green in regulation. Frank, it's one thing to jumpstart your round. This would ignite the round.
Yeah, you don't normally see two par 5s back-to-back, so the chances of having consecutive eagles is so rare.
At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. That is classy.
A chance of going in.
Birdie here yesterday, trying to do it again today. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's very best.
On the process of elimination, don't go long, don't go left, don't go short, and right is marginal. It doesn't leave you with much.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on the easy birdie.
Late par yesterday, this one for birdie. That finds the bottom of the cup. We'll call that a birdie. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway, expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Solid play, heart of the green. This is to win the Wells Fargo Championship. Okay, no problem with that one. Frank, year in, year out, the Wells Fargo Championship is one of the best on the PGA Tour. This year, it didn't disappoint.
No, it didn't. For a number of reasons, really. The quality of the field, Rich, but more importantly, from my point of view, the quality of the golf. Quail Hollow extracts the best out of a player. It demands it. And we saw that today.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long. Until next time.